Hello and welcome back to the Wrexham Way. Hope you're all doing well and looking forward to today's episode as we kick life off here in the Premier League. We are kicking things off today against Sheffield United. This is going to be so exciting and it's going to be a pretty decent test of how we could do this season. As you can see, we are actually a late kickoff on Sunday. Loads of other teams have played games. You can already kind of see how the Premier League table is shaping up after one fixture, but still, it's going to be very exciting. Anyway, welcome back. Hope you're all doing well today and looking forward to this episode. It seems to be a pretty decent reaction from yesterday's transfer special. I know we didn't bring in tons of players and we didn't actually spend all the money, but I think come January, if we're in a healthy position in the league, we could look to spend big there. Anyway, make sure you do drop a like on today's video for me. Leave a comment down below for the YouTube algorithm. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here for plenty of Football Manager content. So there's not actually been all that much news from in between episodes. We've not signed any more players. It was never really the plan to sign players at all. Although we would have quite liked to have got George Webster back on loan. We did keep making bids for it, but he's gone to Leicester in a permanent deal instead for 31 rising to 41 million pounds, which we could just not ever compete with right now. So he was the only guy we were trying to bring in. I mean, to be fair, he's now gone to Leicester. Is he on loan at Leicester? No. No. You hate to see it. So no one else has joined the club, but one player has left the club on a permanent deal. I think we all know who it is. It is George Alexander. I don't think he was really going to get much game time with us. But to be fair, we have actually made a bit of decent profit on him. We've sold him for £3.8 million to Stoke. So actually represents a nice bit of profit there, I must say, from when we first signed him. But although he had some very good seasons with us, I just don't think we're going to cut it in the Premier League with all of the attacking talent that we have. Other than that, there was not really a whole lot of news other than I got offered the England job, which was a little bit bizarre and out of the blue. Now, I've said no to it because I'm not too fussed about the England job right now, but it's just frustrating that in a Building a Nation save like the Aberdeen save, for example, or Anderlecht on stream at the moment, we just never get offered the national jobs at all. With Aberdeen, we even tried to get it a few times, didn't we? And we just never got offered the job or an interview or anything like that. This one, we've not done anything that notable other than get Wrexham to the Premier League, but still, we get offered the England job. No interview, just offered the England job. If it was Wales, I would have considered it, but it's England, I'm not too fussed. No one else was really bidded on in the transfer window. We didn't really get many bids for many players at all, actually, which did surprise me, but to be fair, I'm pretty happy with it because I'm pretty happy with our team and what we should be doing this season. For me, this is the team that I think is going to be starting most games. And you may be thinking, why on earth are you still playing a 4-2-2-2? Well, the fact is, we switched this formation and became absolutely incredible in the Championship. And I don't really know why. We could go back defensive, but let's stick with what works for now. Let's stick with what works. See what happens for the first few games of the season. If we lose everything, we can reevaluate. But I'd rather just stick with what we know and see how it goes. Now, in the Premier League, we apparently get 9 substitutes. We can only use 3 of them, but we can have 9 players on the bench, which is quite handy. So we can have a bit more options on the bench. Ordinarily, Galbraith and Jacobson would be there, but Galbraith is suspended for this game, and Jacobson is injured for 2 weeks or so. So they will come off the bench for Caro to be their midfielder. And we're going to be able to put Neil Long on the bench as well, who is the wonderkid regen that we had. He'll go out on loan in January, or actually no, he's born in February. That's annoying. He'll be here with us all season because he can't actually go on loan until he turns 17, and that's just outside the transfer window, so that's a little bit frustrating. He won't be called Neil Long for long because he will get renamed on the Patreon pretty soon, but I'll tell you what, if we can have him in the first team this season, getting tutored and playing the odd game, I think it's pretty good. So for our first ever game in the Premier League, this is the team. And actually the back line is pretty similar to last season. Gaston Andriucci is going to retain his place in the stick with Timon, Thomas Parry, Camboila and Dylan in the back line. Miguel Herrera and of course Oostergaard are going to be playing in the centre of midfield. We've got Pizarro and Rebergen on the wings with Roxvarg and Fink playing up front. So, as kickoff is upon us here today, it's just the one game that we're going to be playing in today's episode because I've not got a whole lot of time. I'm recording this after the Streamer Showdown on Wednesday night, so this comes out on Thursday, so I've not got a whole lot of time to record. I'll talk about the Streamer Showdown in a minute because Rebergen's on the ball and goes all the way back to Camboila. This could be amazing for us. Imagine if we get a first goal in the Premier League this early on as Pizarro is through, brought down in the area. It's a penalty. And I'll be honest, I think it would probably be Roxvarg taking the penalties. I think it should still be him from last season, if I'm correct in my thinking, because I know I've not changed it over pre-season. We've been given the penalty, and it is Roxvarg on the penalty. Don't let us down. He doesn't let us down. The first goal in the Premier League is scored by the next-gen wonder kid, Roxvarg. I think he came 27th. I can't quite remember. He was on the next-gen list anyway. He puts that penalty in the bottom corner, and that is our first goal in the Premier League. But speaking of the Streamer Showdown, we did the draft, for me, literally like 15 minutes ago, and it went really, really well until we got to the end, and then the big twist was that your team was up for grabs, and there was a big random spinning wheel generator which switched our team that we picked to someone else, and we got someone else's team. So we've got a big challenge ahead of ourselves to pick a good team and find a formation that's going to work for the team that someone else picks. It's going to be difficult. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a little bit annoyed, obviously, about losing my team, but it's one of those things, I suppose, that happens, and it's a good twist, entertaining. So join me this weekend. All the information is in the Discord if you want to get watching that one on Twitch. In the meantime, luckily, no one scored a goal, so I could probably talk about the showdown whilst this was going on. But as Josh Timon finds the ball, he goes back to Adam Thomas Parry, into Herrera, who goes back to Thomas Parry. Thomas Parry across to Cambuala, who goes forward to Oostergaard, into Rebergen, into Roxvarg, who scores another goal. You love to see it. 2-0 up. His second of the game in 17 minutes. I mean, maybe we were right. Maybe we were absolutely right to stick with this formation that did so well in the Championship, because right now, I mean, 2 shots have gone in the back of the net. To be fair, we've been quite lucky in that regard, I must say. But defensively, we're being solid. And in terms of possession, we're solid. And this is a Sheffield United team that last season finished 11th. So we know Sheffield United are a solid mid-table team. Can we also just stop the count now? I mean, we're temporarily 4th in the Premier League. Temporarily 4th in the Premier League, which is absolutely mental. But of course, there is a whole second half to go. So let's just not get too carried away. Let's just be happy in the moment right now, because I'm sure Sheffield United in the second half are going to come out all guns blazing as they look to try and get themselves back in this. And they've got the quality to do it. Abel Ruiz on the ball, gets it out to Klosterman, who's very good, puts the ball not into the middle in the end. And Ndombele forces a great save from Andre Uchi, who, by the way, is still regarded only as a League One quality player by our coaches. And yet he was the Championship goalkeeper of the season because he was in the team of the year last season. He's currently keeping a clean sheet in the Premier League against Sheffield United, who are very, very good, a mid-table team, which is pretty impressive. And now Pizarro comes away with the ball, looking to get forward, and could Roxvarg get a hat-trick on his Premier League debut? Imagine that, as the ball goes back to Timon. Timon forward to the keeper. Roxvarg gets... Oh, the keeper dropped it. Roxvarg's shot, though, was just at quite the acute angle. And actually, apparently, he's offside in the process, which doesn't make sense because the keeper touched it in the first place. So I don't quite understand that. But still, we're winning. And we've got 15 minutes to go. Right. Who's coming off? Well, Pizarro's played poorly, which means I think we give a debut to 16-year-old Neil Long, which is pretty crazy, to be fair. Herrera having quite a poor game on his debut. Let's give Hikaru a run out there as well. And is anyone else looking particularly tired? Rebergen is. Let's give Lorca a run out there instead, but as a winger on attack. There we go. So 3 changes at the same time with 15 minutes to go. It's a little potentially risky, but they're tired and not playing well. So let's give them the rest that they need and get them off the pitch because they're not playing particularly well. Hopefully someone else comes on and plays better. But in the meantime, Sheffield United are coming forward. Moro Jr. across to Abel Ruiz, who really should have done better with that header, puts it over the bar. We are very lucky with that one, I must say. And actually, to be fair, as the second half has gone on, Sheffield United have asserted more dominance in the game, a lot more shots than us. Their XG is only just behind us, but ours is very high because of the penalty in the first place. They've caught up on possession a little bit, but they haven't got enough possession to do anything with it. And as the clock ticks down, I can't believe it. Wrexham 2, Sheffield United 0. The first win in the Premier League comes in the first game. And we temporarily go 4th in the Premier League. I know it's only day one. Let's not get carried away. But that's mental. That is absolutely mental. So quite a few debuts for players in there. Ostergaard was the pick of the bunch there with a very good debut. Did he get an assist in that game? I think he did get an assist, which is obviously great for him. Neil Long and Herrera also making debuts too, which is good to see. Roxvarg obviously on form with his 2 goals. Brilliant stuff with him. And apparently Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was there looking at his player Rebergen, of course, who is not our player. He is United's player. Will be United's player for a long, long time to come, but had a great season last year with us, had a great summer with the Netherlands under-21 team. Hopefully this season, already 1 assist to his name, will have a great season with us again. So, as I say, with showdowns, and I'm working tomorrow as well until quite late, so I've not got a whole lot of time to edit this up, so it's only going to be a short episode today, and then also I've got to prep for showdowns over the weekend and all that kind of stuff too. So, I think next episode we come back fairly quickly for, I reckon, 2 big away games, Leeds and West Ham. I think we come back for those ones. I would say Bournemouth, but we played them last season quite a few times. So we'll do Leeds and West Ham before, I think the episode after that will go straight on to the Manchester games. That would be pretty exciting. So thank you very much for watching today. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. And of course, if you have done, make sure you do drop a like on the video for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Leave a comment down below for the YouTube algorithm. And I will see you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.